Hello fighters, Rosmero here, and it's time to open the remaining two Overdress start decks. Starting with D-SD04, Megumi Okura Sylvan King. Starting with the boss card, Sylvan Horned Beast King, Magnolia. Now from the design, many of the cards in this deck are basically based around animals, so one would say that they are most likely inspired by great nature. But the flavor that they have is completely different, alright? And I love this so much more because normally, although I really like animal-based archetypes in any of the card games I play, I never really got into great nature because one, I didn't really like the mechanics, and two, even though they were animals, they were simply just too anthropomorphic. I didn't like how they fused animals with all those human stationery and you know, it just wasn't bestial enough for me. But after the passage of 3,000 years, it looks like the animals of great nature have returned to their animalistic roots, and I absolutely love what they've done to them in this Stoicheia start deck. On Vanguard, at the end of a battle in which this unit attacked, cost Counterblast 1. Choose one of your rear guards, and during this turn, it can attack from the back row and give it a plus 5k boost for the turn. In addition, if you performed a Persona ride this turn, you can target 3 rear guards instead of just 1. Meaning your entire back row can potentially launch attacks for a total of 6 attacks on the field. Now this is a bit similar to the consecutive effects of the Dark State start deck, but I like the way they're doing it here much more because it's so much more fresh compared to just restanding your rear guards, because we had tons of that in the past Vanguard as well with Nova Grappler even. Okay, and I don't know man, is it just me? Am I just biased towards animals? But even without the foil, I think Magnolia's artwork looks absolutely sick compared to the other 3 that we've gone through last week. Next, the Grade 2. When this unit rides into Magnolia, cost Soul Blast 1, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a unit, call it to rear guard, but if it is not, meaning an order card, add it to your hand. Very nice, no waste of resources there. And while this unit is on a back row rear guard circle, and when it attacks a Vanguard, cost Soul Blast 1, during the battle it gets power plus 10k. So just synergizing so well with Magnolia and essentially making it possible for your back row rear guards to hit the opponent's Vanguard without requiring a boost. So very useful. 4 copies of that since it's the main Grade 2. Next we have the Grade 1 Sylvan Horned Beast Callus. When this unit rides into Lattice, you may reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a Grade 2 or lower unit, call it to rear guard, otherwise put it into the soul. Again, some nice synergy since you'll need those Soul Blasts to basically pay the cost for Lattice's effects. And while on a back row rear guard circle, when this unit attacks, during the battle it gets power plus 5k at no cost. Pretty interesting. So Karis, while attacking from the front row, basically makes it so that he can basically attack even the opponent's rear guards and get a power boost, but Lattice is more for inflicting damage to the opponents. Nice. I don't know, I just love the designs of these cards even, man. I do think they're a bit goofy in a certain sense, but they're so... It's they really return to nature, you know? Not the whole anthropomorphic artworks of great nature. And here we have the Grade 0 First Vanguard, Sylvan Horned Beast, Lotse. Very cute. So you're definitely going down there. And who do we have here? A Grade 2 Vanilla that definitely looks like he's from Mega Colony, but wait, just 1 minute, okay? This guy looks like he has a completely different style from the old Mega Colony units that we know. The old Mega Colony units are a bit more monstrous, brutal, and well, they work for a crime organization. But this guy, although I can still see him working for a crime organization, he's just so stylish. His weapon is so cool, there's some kind of scientific enhancements there, borrowing some sci-fi weapons from Brand's Gate. Dude, if you are telling me this is going to be the new Mega Colony aesthetic, I cannot wait for more insectoid cards, man, dude. Anyway, this is Seizing / Mutants Bruce Slash, and of course we have the mutants in the name, just like our old typical Mega Colony naming trends. So that was just 3 copies of that. Next we have a Grade 2 Sylvan Horned Beast Duger on rear guard. If you have 4 or more other rear guards, basically your field is full, this unit gets power plus 5k. Not bad, I guess. That's a pretty nice unit to have on the front row, as you basically call your back row attackers to the back row instead. 4 copies of that. Next, we are seeing some Neo Nectar inspiration here. Looting Petal Stomaria. On rearguard once per turn, cost Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. During this turn, this unit gets boost and power plus 5k. Interesting. So basically giving you a powerful grade 2 booster. I guess she's a nice unit to have in the back row if you can't get enough back row attackers, because that'll give you a pretty solid attack from the front row anyway. Interesting, feels like this deck in general is quite versatile with, although it has like this main mechanic it's going for, there are quite a few other strategies present to boost it up as well. Knight of Friendship Cyrus, so a bit of musketeer feels here. On rearguard once per turn, cost Soul Blast 2. Okay, we're seeing quite a lot of Soul Blast costs in this deck, so I can see why the grade 1 gives you a Soul Charge. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a unit card, call it to rearguard, but if not, add it to your hand. So same effect as Lattice. Pretty interesting. Basically a lot of ways to get additional rearguards on your field, which is really good for the mechanic of, you know, filling up your field and then attacking from the back row as well. Hopeful Maiden, Alejandra, so it looks like Neo Nectar is going to basically represent the Sentinel of this deck. A pretty nice artwork. Man, I am really loving the aesthetic of like the nature cards in Stoicheia. Like, I call them the nature cards because, well, Stoicheia is the fusion of Megalenica and Zoo, so it both has like aquatic and nature cards, and while on top, according to the rules, you can combine them into a single deck, I feel like Bushiroad is kind of like still keeping the two separate. Which is why in the very first booster we are getting Zolga, like the grand blue sort of right line, and that's kind of like a bit different from these grassy nature kind of guys. So here we have the over trigger again. The critical trigger is just plain adorable. Sylvan Horned Beast Jackalope, and I especially love the reference because Jackalope is a part of cryptozoology, one of those fantastic creatures that might exist in this world but might not. Next we have a squirrel, another cute one. Sylvan Horned Beast Politer, draw trigger. So I'll put you on the side over here. Next, a monkey, Sylvan Horned Beast Valin, our front trigger, 3 of that. Put one to the side for now. And dude, this heal trigger is just beautiful. Sylvan Horned Beast Ziatorok, our heal trigger. So that should just be 4 copies of that. And ending off with, sorry, I think I might have, oops, no mistake there. We've only got 2 of the order card, which is Call to the Beast. And it is also a Blitz order, which means you can basically activate it during your guard step of your opponent's attacks. Choose one of your units, and during this battle it gets power plus 5k. And if you have 3 or more rear guards in your back row, instead of 5k, it becomes 15k. So an epic, powerful defensive card that is essentially will become a trigger once you have your, for protection, as long as you have your full field set up. And that is the final card of this deck. Okay, so these are all the cards in this Stoicheia Star deck. I'll see you guys in Brand's Gates.